It's better not to mess with us because we have nuclear weapons. Those, the words of Russian President Vladimir Putin.
The Russian Navy says there's nothing unusual for its submarines to patrol international waters, including those off the U.S. coast. It follows a New York Times report that 2 Russian subs were spotted just 200 miles off the American coast. The Pentagon is reportedly concerned it could point to more assertive Russian tactics. U.S. analysts say not since the Cold War have Russian submarines approached so close to America's coast, but officials in Moscow insist they have never stopped patrolling international waters.
Our Navy should not be idling its time away. And it's not only about fighting piracy or other international campaigns. So it's a normal process, and those who make statements are pretty well aware of that. We could also say a lot about their Navy and where it goes.
The United States led the way recently, along with the European Union, to impose heavy economic sanctions against Russia. Now, U.S. air commanders are notifying leadership at the Pentagon of increased Russian activity dangerously close to the American airspace. At least 16 times in the last 10 days, Russian nuclear bombers have flown right near the Alaska border, an exercise that Russia is calling routine training missions. Twice now, American fighter jets have intercepted Russian spy planes and nuclear bombers and escorted them out of the sensitive airspace. Last month, 2 Russian bombers flew within 50 miles of the California coastline before turning back.
Clear ground. Eastern post checked on. Stand by start.
Get him up.
Do an interrupt. Good covers. 159er. In Eastern. 610. Eligible. Juliet. 0, 5, 3, 6, 1. Surveillance East. Launch messages time. Take off runway 31.
Missile warning, this is Beale. Confidence is high. I repeat, confidence is high. Roger, we've got 32 targets in track and 10 impacting points. I want to confirm, is this an exercise? Roger, copy. This is not an exercise.
Roger, understand. Major Reinhardt, we have a massive attack against the U.S. nest at this time. ICBMs. Numerous ICBMs. Roger, understand. Over 300 missiles inbound now.
Within 1,000th of a second of the detonation of this bomb, a fireball would form, reaching out for 2 miles in every direction, 4 miles across. Within this area, temperatures would rise to 20 million degrees Fahrenheit, which is hotter than the surface of the sun, and everything would be vaporized. The buildings, the people, the trees, the upper level of the earth itself. To a distance of 4 miles in every direction, the blast would generate winds in excess of 600 miles per hour and blast pressures greater than 25 pounds per square inch. Forces of this magnitude can destroy anything that human beings can build. Underground shelters would collapse. To a distance of 6 miles in every direction, the heat would be so intense that automobile sheet metal would melt. To a distance of 10 miles in every direction, the blast would still generate winds in excess of 200 miles per hour and blast pressures greater than 10 pounds per square inch. Forces of this magnitude would level wood frame buildings, masonry buildings. A modern steel and concrete building would see its walls and floors swept out. Just the steel skeleton would remain. To a distance of 16 miles in every direction, the heat would be so intense that everything flammable would burn. Wood, paper, cloth, heating oil, gasoline, it would all ignite. Hundreds of thousands of fires, which would, over the next half hour, coalesce into a giant firestorm, 32 miles across, covering over 800 square miles. Within this entire area, the temperature would rise to 1400 degrees Fahrenheit. All the oxygen would be consumed, and every living thing would die. Beyond this great firestorm, the destruction would continue, and there would be hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people, suffering severe injuries, crush injuries, penetrating injuries, extensive burns, blindness from retinal burning. All of these people would need intensive medical care, but it would not be available because most of the hospitals would be destroyed, most of the doctors and nurses and other health professionals would be dead, there'd be no electricity to run the ventilators and cardiac monitors, most of the medical supplies would be exhausted within hours, and the vast majority of these people would not receive any medical care at all. They would die alone and in great pain. And if this attack were part of a large-scale war between the United States and Russia, this level of destruction would be visited on every metropolitan area in the United States and in Russia. A study which Physicians for Social Responsibility published in 2003 showed that if just 300 of the warheads in the Russian arsenal detonated over urban targets in the United States, something between 75 and 100 million people would die in the first half hour. In addition, the entire economic infrastructure would be destroyed. The transportation system, the communications network, the public health system, all the things that a modern industrial country requires to maintain its population, all of these things would be gone. And it is probable that in the ensuing months, the vast majority of the American and Russian population, those who were not killed outright in the first half hour of the attack, they too would die from starvation, from exposure, from epidemic disease, from radiation poisoning.
It's what you give. You're on your knees, you big fat reason tears. live. Lay down your life, that's all to give.